But at the back of my head, I knew, conditioning, it wasn't where it's supposed to be.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with Blessing Avudibu. So for anyone out there wondering, is Blessing gonna do this upcoming China Pro or some other shows in the next 4 weeks or so? Well, unfortunately, that isn't the case. Blessing and his coach, they have decided to shut the season down at the moment. And he will only step back on the stage once he feels like that he has fixed some issues, some problems. And those just aren't related to his legs alone. Even his upper body, I'm gonna say his muscles, they weren't popping as much as they did back in 2022 when he won the New York Pro and California Pro with George Farah. So apparently nothing was positive about this year's prep and the way he came in for this past Legion Sports and him placing outside of that top 5, which by the way was very fair. But that whole scenario, that made him realize that he still needs more time. Now, I for one fail to understand one thing. Blessing's coach, Stefan, he said he knew Blessing won't be ready for this upcoming Legion Sports. And now Blessing too said the same thing in the Menace podcast. So, why did he jump into that show, knowing damn well that he just simply won't be ready for that show?
It wasn't where it was 2022. I couldn't even compare the conditioning. But the size I was bringing, the shit, I thought maybe towards.
And even if he was coming in with more size, more mass, it simply would not have mattered because he would be so far off in terms of conditioning. And that is exactly what happened. Now that being said, at the end of the day, it was Blessing's call to give his body some rest and recover. But can we all agree that if he continues to diet for let's say another 4 weeks, he probably would have been in a great shape and he probably would have been ready for this upcoming China Pro because he would have done 4 more weeks of dieting after the Legion Sports.
And I'll never slow down. So we're going to try and stay lean, 8 weeks out, distant from any show, and just try to improve my conditioning, quality, and fullness. 260, 2022, I was hard, shredded, glutes everywhere. But now that I'm a lot bigger, same 262, I was soft. You know what I mean? And it looks like I was not in shape.
So his plan, that is staying lean and make some improvements and stay within the striking range of around 8 weeks time in case he decide to do a show before the Olympia this year. So looking at the timeline of all of these upcoming shows, Tampa Pro and Texas Pro, they are the only 2 shows which are happening in 8 weeks time in the US. So Blessing must admit that him bulking up to 320 plus pounds, that was totally unnecessary because all it did was make his waist look even wider on the stage, especially his obliques. And he had to suffer extra hard to be contest ready. And even then, it just simply did not pay off.
And I'm going to get this right. And I believe when I really truly get this right, the fans of bodybuilding, they will truly appreciate, the ups and downs, the work that I put in, and the will of never giving up after seeing me down so many times and come back. So for me, it's a journey and it's a working process. And I believe I got what it takes.
Rubiel Mosquera, aka Neckzilla, checks in at 9 days out from this year's Dubai Pro. Now, for those of you guys who do not remember, this is gonna be his first show since Dubai Pro last year. And those are definitely one of the best times in the entire IFBB right now. So a week ago, there were some reports that Rubiel might skip this show because he won't be in shape. But later on it was confirmed that he is doing this show no matter what. Now with the kind of lineup that is expected to show up at this upcoming Dubai Pro, I do not think anyone expects him to win the show. But that being said, we do want to see him on the stage with more improvements compared to last year. Now he wasn't on for Dubai Pro last year, which was later explained by Rubiel himself that he did not have the most ideal peak week leading into the show, and he also got sick. But this year, he has stuck with that same coach and trainer, Francisco, who is quite good at bringing his athletes very dry and very ripped. So the lad was working with Francisco last year, and he came in very dry and at his all-time best, especially the way he showed up at Chicago Pro and Tampa Pro. Now Rubiel, because of his size and the freak factor, he's one of the most exciting bodybuilders in the entire men's open right now. Or I'm gonna say, in the entire bodybuilding. And even if he doesn't deliver here, let's just hope that he continues to target some upcoming shows, because I 100% think that he can realistically win a pro show this year and he can qualify for the Olympia. Next up, we have a 9 days out physique update from Michael the Bull. So anyone thinking that is trademark conditioning that comes easily, that is as far from the truth as it can be. Michael has to follow that very long cycle of staying on very low carbs to get that hard grainy look. And based on this most recent update, it seems like that the man is gonna be on one more time. And he's obviously the favorite to win this upcoming Dubai Pro and get the biggest paycheck of his career. Now Michael the Bull played it very masterfully here. He chose to skip the Pittsburgh Pro. He got his system recovered and then he targeted the show that pays even more than the Olympia at the moment. Although Michael feels like that he wasn't truly on. He wasn't at his A game at the last few shows that he did, but he still was among the most shredded and the most conditioned guys on the stage. He was struggling to bring that waist in for the Olympia as well as for the Arnold. So we will see whether that issue is now fixed or not. So if this peak goes well for Michael, I don't think there is anyone who can really challenge a world-class physique and the kind of conditioning that he brings at this upcoming Dubai Pro stage. Next up, we have an off-season physique update from Andrew Jacked. Crazy how lean and round Andrew is able to stay even during the off-season, and that is partly because of his genetics, but also because of the fact that he tries to eat very clean majority of the times. Now Andrew was kind of lucky that he dodged a bullet at this past FIBA Germany against Sazan Hirati, and he got his Olympia qualification. And when we are referring to that, we aren't implying that Sazan is that good that he could beat Andrew Jacked. It's just the fact Andrew came in so off for this past FIBA Germany, but even then, he came back a lot better for the finals, and he was able to pull off the victory. Now, after last year's Miss Olympia, he said he won't be chasing size anymore. But when you got the comments from the head judge, Steve Weinberger, and Tyler Mannion, that he needs to have bigger quads, especially from the front, then that is obviously saying that he should come in heavier. But at the same time, they also said that he needs to have more ripped hamstrings and the glutes. So that means he has to bring great conditioning too. Now for Andrew, it's a matter of finding that right balance, that perfect combination of size and conditioning. And to me, his best look, that was Texas Pro last year. He improved his side shots for this past Arnold, but his legs from the front, they looked a bit downsized. Now it's great that Andrew qualified for the Olympia earlier during the season, because we have seen this trend with Andrew Jacked, that he always burns out by the time Olympia comes. Now even though he wasn't at his best at the Olympia in the last couple of years, he was still top 5, and that just speaks volumes about how dangerous this guy is. So the biggest mistake that any Dubai Pro competitor in the men's open class they can make is sleep on a guy like Nathan Deasha, the super dry, very shredded and ripped version of Nathan that is loading, and the fact that he still has so much fullness even in the depletion mode, even when he's on the flat side, that just points towards one direction, that he's gonna come in bursting full. And if he can do that without his obliques blowing up the way they did at Flex Pro Italy last year, which kind of took away from his overall physique at that show against Behrouz Tabani. And if we just ignore that for a second, that was probably the best physique of Nathan Deasha to ever step on the stage. And if he can fix that, he's gonna be so much more dangerous. And we have to keep in mind, he's also coming back after 1 year. Now we have Nathan Behrouz Tabani and William Bonac in the top 3 for this upcoming Dubai Pro. Now all 3 of these guys, including Nathan, they have been very consistent. But we have to keep in mind, there is also a guy named Tonio Burton who is also gonna be there. So the first call out at this upcoming Dubai Pro, that is gonna be one hell of a call out. With Nathan Behrouz, William Bonac, Tonio Burton, and Rubiel. And one more thing, Nathan always looks very good in his first show of the season when he is all fresh. And last year at Dubai Pro, that was his last show. This year, Dubai Pro is his first show. So do let me know, what did you guys think? Who did you guys have winning this upcoming Dubai Pro? And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.